Hey, everybody, it's Eri from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And look at this. Just look at this. It's about as near perfect as it gets. The market is up over 2.4 trillion. There's a lot of new capital flowing in. Congratulations to everybody who is in this market because there are some serious gains occurring in the last 12 hours. Very, very fun time to be in this space. So the video has some huge news for Quant and XRP holders. Also, I want to give you a little personal update in my own journey to understand this space. And SBI in Japan, again, the largest outside shareholder of Ripple, they are moving under the covers, but someone pulled those covers back for me. Now, I don't know if you missed this, but this is Senator Cynthia Lummus, and she is ripping into the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen during a Senate Banking, Housing, Urban Development Committee meeting. Yellen wants banks to turn over the inflows and outflows, that's basically any movement of money, to the IRS on any account that has at least $600 in it or at least $600 worth of transactions. Yeah, the Internal Revenue Service, which we call the IRS, if you're not from the United States, they want to find what they believe they can find by doing this, a $7 trillion tax gap. Crazy. It's just crazy. And you have to listen to the response that Senator Lummus gave to the Treasury Secretary. Listen to this.
Do you distrust the American people so much that you need to know when they bought a couch or a cow?
Yeah, I guess in Wyoming, people are buying a lot of couches and cows, and for $600, I mean, come on, that's not where you're going to go find that $7 trillion gap. All right, so if you don't think that the CBDCs are going to give pure transparency into your spending and deposits, well, I don't care where you live, what country, you have another thing coming. The privacy with money is never going to be the same. In fact, something shocking in a Ripple patent that was just approved at the beginning of this month. This is part of a second part of a patent that was filed back in 2018. And in a nutshell, if I make it a really easy nutshell to crack, this is a method for verifying a sequence of instructions from a computer to a device in a smart contract. Okay, so how might that be used? Well, here is an example. This is just an example that they give for how this smart contract could be used. It could interrupt a device. For example, it would allow a lender, like a bank, at a remote location to disable an automobile whose owner is late making a payment on a loan. Yep. Welcome to the new world. All right. I have to tell you that Jomu, where you can find him at JOMUSOJAN on Twitter. He's a curious guy, and you can tell from his Twitter feed, he's all over the market looking at lots of different projects. And he gave a heads up to me and pointed out something that was getting some attention in India, but it wasn't getting much attention until recently in the West. And it is about this RBI regulatory sandbox that is happening. This is the Reserve Bank of India, and SBI in Japan, Ripple's largest outside shareholder, took part in this new fundraise, and they are going to build a new blockchain-based cross-border payment system. And it's going to be put into this regulatory sandbox. And so you can see that the others that participated were Google, Visa, and Temasek, which is owned by the Singapore government. You got to keep your eye on SBI. They're going to have their quarterly presentation for investors at the end of this month. I think it's going to be packed full of interesting things. I can't wait. All right. And then, oh yeah, Jomu actually pinged the co-founder and said, hey, are you guys offering digital asset services, custody or other blockchain-based solutions? One word, no. Yeah, you know that they're in the development stage, they're in the sandbox stage, and they're in a time where they have to keep their lips sealed. All right, so we are going to talk about the big news, but before I do that, I want to just update you on a little of my personal side of researching this space. As many of you've seen, Matt Hamilton and I often go to the trenches with these Bitcoin maximalists, and it's not something I enjoy to do at all. In fact, I found myself in the middle of kind of a crazy tweet thread that was with the member of parliament of Tonga, who said he was going to go for the Lightning Network. And I just didn't have any idea he was such a Bitcoin maximalist. I was really, a little naive. And I was just trying to tell him to take a look at Spend the Bits because it uses the XRP ledger and it really is a more efficient way. And I'm so tired of people saying that the maxis saying that, well, don't you know that Lightning is so great? So I decided that I was going to run a Lightning node because for the first thing I want to show you here, I cannot get Strike in Tokyo. For some reason, it is not supported in this region. So I thought to myself, okay, for just a little bit of under $500, I can get my own node up and running and I can open up a channel here in Tokyo. I thought, all right, yeah, I'm going to do it. So I decided to go with Umbrel, and they have kind of a plug and play system, very easy, and their servers will allow me to open up this channel. And I've been doing all the research, and I know that I need to open up with at least 1 million sats, which is about $600. So that you can hope to make money. But I am also advised right now, the current mempool is so expensive that this would be very difficult for a person who's going to put that small amount into a pre-funded channel to be profitable. And they said, if you only want to do, like 500 or 600 or $1,000, or actually anything under 6,000 is what they told me, that I maybe should wait till the mempool is not so backed up because transactions are getting expensive right now. So I thought, okay, well, in the meantime, let me try to find a channel peer, because you have to go find a peer in the network so that you can create that channel. And I was told that the 1ML is the best place you can go to see who is in the network, because you can see the capacity of their channel, you can see their fee, the rates that they charge, you can see how many channels they have, maybe how many they have open, how many they've closed, you can get their uptime. In Japan, for example, there's 282 channels with just 50 operators. I thought that was very low. 18,000 operators or 18,000 channels in the United States, but so many of the countries, like Greece only has one channel open, Peru only has two channels open, Kenya only one channel open. Anyway, so I'm trying to find a channel outside of Japan, because it makes sense to me that you'd want to be able to offer that Japan to somewhere else. But yikes, have a listen to this. This is the one thing you have to think about when you are creating that channel. This is a Bitcoin maximalist that helps people get set up with their node. Here we go.
And you should be somewhat picky with who you connect to or who you tie up your own Bitcoin with, because if it doesn't serve you, if you're not able to route payments through them, then you've now locked up Bitcoin that kind of becomes useless to you. And you might need to close the channel later, and that incurs on-chain fees. So you got to do this balancing act. So just keep that in mind as you're opening channels. But we're going to dive into actually opening some channels right now.
Yeah, can you believe it? Can you believe it? I mean, I could put my Bitcoin in that channel, and basically, it's not a trustless system. It's 100% centralized, and somebody could easily snatch my Bitcoin out of there. So I am positive this is not what Satoshi had in mind. I'm positive. It's for someone who wants to foster growth in the ecosystem, and I'm a Bitcoin holder, and that's why I always am promoting Spend the Bits, because I think it's a superior way to send Bitcoin over the XRP ledger. And so I thought, well, what better way than to be a Lightning node operator and open up a channel and really, really be one of those people who can say, yeah, okay, I really am one that has an expert opinion here. So, but I'm finding that it looks really risky, unless you trust the person on the other side of your channel. I don't know. Yeah, it makes me feel very not so excited to put my Bitcoin at risk that way. All right, to the big news. Remember, everyone discovered and shared the certificate of incorporation of a private limited company with Electroneum, Ripple, and Quant. This was official paperwork filed in the UK. And I think much of that was being passed around on Twitter back in June and July. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the Quant community that found it first. Well, now we have the details. And this is a core group of founding members. They have launched to form an independent forum to support the implementation of a well-designed digital pound and digital money ecosystem. This is for the UK. And how ironic, right? American company Ripple, attacked by the dysfunctional part of its own government, is the founding member of a group to help lead the United Kingdom with its digital pound. Meanwhile, we've got Yellen and Gensler focused on how to find more tax and implement more stifling controls. It's frustrating. Yeah, this space is fun, but it is also really frustrating. I can tell you, I don't want to bore you with the team of founders, but wow, I'm telling you, it's amazing. You've got people from Credit Suisse, Barclays, the chairman of the UK Governors Banking Working Group, HSBC, Accenture, chairman of the board of the Bank of Egypt. There's a BNY Mellon, a Swift advisor, Bank of England's senior auditor, TBS Bank, MIT, somebody who is head of global legal affairs at Barclays. I mean, it goes on and on. The founding members and their resumes and their experience is just stellar. So I just find it very ironic. And here we have one of my favorite people in the space. This is the CEO, Gilbert Verdian of Quant, and he has a really special message today based on this. Let's see if I can play this for you because it's very nice.
Hi, I'm Gilbert Verdian, CEO at Quant. We're very excited to be part of the launch of the Digital Pound Foundation today. This is an important milestone for the UK. We've already got the most advanced payment system in the world, and having a digital pound allows us to innovate further and to increase competition, openness, and the exportability of a digital pound across the world in various use cases. Why is this important for us? So at Quant, we're innovators in DLT and blockchain technology. We're constantly creating standards. We've solved interoperability, and this is a great way to be involved to help make cross-border use cases and new innovation and new payment types and flows for businesses and consumers. Thank you.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, he's my favorite, really. So you want to register. This is a webinar that's going to take place, I think it's the 10th. I think it's the 10th of November, but you can register for it and submit any questions that you might have before the event. And the member companies like Ripple and Quant are going to give presentations. So I registered and I was approved. I don't think it's hard to get in, but you never know if they're going to cut off the amount of registrations. So I wouldn't snooze on it. I would get on it right away. You can find a link from my Twitter feed, or you can go to the Digital Pound Foundation Twitter feed too. All right, let's just be sure everybody knows tomorrow I'm going to have the CEO of WattsPay with Stas, who is their vice president of blockchain marketing. I'm really excited. I worked on my questions, and I got into the Discord channel. There's about 1,300 community members that were just so kind, and I just wanted to make sure that there weren't any questions or areas of topics that I was missing. So yeah, look forward to that. I'm very interested because they have built on XinFin, and XinFin is just on fire these days. So what we'll talk about in the fluff is this. This is Team Labs. They do have some art installations around the world, just not Tokyo, but they originated in Tokyo. This is one that I went to. This is really great. This is super, super fun and beautiful. Lots of rooms, all set up with different examples of how projection mapping and lights, and it's just creative beyond belief. This is one of the more current ones. I haven't seen this one yet. This is 13,000 live authentic orchids that create this floating garden, this Zen garden. I've got Momo really getting crazy here behind the computer. Sorry. Yeah, this one is one I would love to see. And the orchids, if you don't know, if you take care of them properly, which I've never been able to do, I've tried. They're so popular here. You can get them to look nice for a couple months. But if you know how to take care for them, you can actually get them to rebloom for 50 years. Yeah, 50. But no, I've not been able to do that. The art installation, though, that they've done as of late is getting a lot of buzz here. It's a ramen restaurant in Tokyo. And so they have these. The menu is anywhere from $13. Well, I should talk in dollars. $13 to $17, and people are lining up for more than an hour to get in. The experience with the stunning digital art is done with these big brush strokes that paint across the entire space, and you have to see the ramen itself is a work of art. How about that? Beautiful. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.